Scorpion, fight! Johnny Cage.
Yeah!
Johnny Cage.
Get over here!
Finish him.
How did I get out here this time? Johnny! Johnny! Hey, Johnny!
Oh!
Run, run, run!
Fight! Scorpion.
Who's...
Get over here!
Hey, Johnny!
Fatality. Finish Scorpion. Fatality.
Hi everybody, thank you for joining me on today's edition of Glen's Retro Show. Today we're going to talk about some Mortal Kombat from Arcade1UP. Okay, so here is the Mortal Kombat 2 from Arcade1UP. Now this particular machine does have 3 games installed. You have the original Mortal Kombat 2, hence the nameplate up here, and Ultimate Mortal Kombat. Now me personally, I'm more familiar with the original Mortal Kombat, but a lot of people love the Ultimate Mortal Kombat because it has a lot more features and gameplay installed in that particular one. Now this machine is part of their Phase 2 units, which means there's been some enhancements and improvements made to this over their initial Phase 1 machines like the Asteroids, the Centipede, and those earlier machines. One of the things that they are doing on these new machines is they've improved the joysticks, they've improved the buttons, they've improved some of the mechanics of the machine. Now as far as the joysticks go, now I don't have the Street Fighter unit. The only joystick machines I have are the Pac-Man and the Galaga. And I was actually okay with the joystick and the Pac-Man. It was a little bit loose, but it responded very well. The Galaga as well. The Galaga was a little bit more loose than the Pac-Man one, but it served its purpose. But in games like this, you have to be able to get your character in the right position, whether it be jumping or crouching or punching or moving. So the joystick they put in here is improved over the ones I've used in the past, like in the Street Fighter. This particular joystick uses a non-levered micro switch, which helps with keeping the joystick responsive and centered, and I found it to be pretty good. Another thing they've done is, obviously, they have the bat tops already on here. When they released a Street Fighter, it had the regular ball tops on it. A lot of people had to go out, and they weren't expensive, and got these bat tops. But they're already including the bat tops with the machine, and they feel pretty good. Another thing they've done here is they've kind of spaced the components out as best they could. Again, this is a 3/4 size machine. It's not a full arcade machine. It's 3/4 the size. But with the space that they had, they've done a pretty good job of spacing out all these buttons. You have your high punch, low punch, block, high kick, low kick, and then run for some of the gameplay mechanics in here. And of course your 1 and 2 player buttons. And the on-off switch and the 3 volume controls up here. Now another neat thing that they've done, which I'm very thankful for, in all the Phase 1 units, the buttons use regular micro switches, which means they're very clicky. When you press the button, you heard that. Well, you can hear it now. This is going. We hear that type of click sound. And these new ones don't use those type of micro switches. It's more of a quiet micro switch. And what's good about them, they're using the same type of technology that the Glen's Retro Show buttons are going to have, which means that they press quick, they're very quiet, very springy, and extremely responsive. I think much more so than micro switches you would have had in the other machines. So a lot of people are replacing their buttons. These buttons are pretty good as they are. The switches that are inside here are centered, so it's not like a micro switch where it's levered. The button's actually centered, so it's actually much better with springing back and giving you more precise selection when you press it down. Another thing that's included in here you don't have to worry about is a lot of the Phase 1 units having problems there with the graphics on the control panel. It's a well-known issue. And you could call them and they'll send you out an overlay. In this machine, the overlay comes stock. It's already here. You just have to peel off the little plastic on both sides of the plexiglass. But it's here, and the control panel itself looks really, really nice. So without any further ado, let's go try playing some of the gameplay on here. Now the monitor itself is probably the same monitor they're using, but it just seems to me a little bit more vibrant. I'm not sure if they made any adjustment to the brightness settings on here, but it does look nice. Another thing they did was, there are sound effects you heard a moment ago. As you go pick a game, it's not quiet. You know you're making a selection, which is kind of nice. The first game I'm going to try here, I guess, is Mortal Kombat. Again, I am no Mortal Kombat expert. I haven't played this since, well, the 90s on my Super NES, which I got pretty good at it, but I'm going to admit I'm not too good anymore, and I don't remember all the play mechanics on here. So I'm going to do the best that I can and show you guys at least some gameplay of the games. And as you can see, the cabinet itself is their standard Arcade1UP cabinet. Didn't change anything, but the side artwork looks really nice. I mean, Raiden's one of my favorite characters. Him, Scorpion, and Liu Kang are my three favorite characters I like to play with. And the bezel here looks really, really nice. But the controls, an absolute improvement, I think, over the other ones, especially the buttons. Well, like what I prefer to do is try one of these games. So I'm going to go here into Mortal Kombat and pick a game. And you get a tone again when you make a selection. You didn't get that in the Phase 1 units. And of course it shows you some of the gameplay controls here. Mortal Kombat. So basically, if you've played Street Fighter, you've probably played Mortal Kombat as well, so please don't judge me too harshly. This time, I am not looking through a viewfinder. The camera's all the way over there, and I'm over here. So I can't say I'm using the camera as an excuse this time. But I'll do the best that I can playing the game. And it is set to free play, so you just basically pick the guy you want and go. I'm going to start off with Scorpion. The sound sounds really good. It's loud, but you can tone it down. There's 3 volume settings.
Get over here!
Ooh!
Come here! Get over here! Get over here!
Scorpion win.
It is a fun game when you're winning. Oh! Block me, will you? Take that!
Get over
Oh yeah! With all the blood you remember.
Scorpion wins.
That was luck. The joystick feels really good. The buttons are really, really good. Oh! Beaten by Kato. Oh. Uh-oh. No! Man, taken out by Kato. Not so good. Try one more time. I'll do some Raiden.
Raiden wins.
Oh my lord!
Volcano wins.
I am so bad at these games nowadays. Okay, let's go try one of the different Mortal Kombats. I'm gonna go back, hold down the play one button. And again, I can't stress enough how good these buttons feel, and the joysticks as well over the other units. I can't help that I just play bad.
Excellent.
Let's try a little Johnny Cage.
Johnny Cage.
The screen looks really, really good. Sound sounds good.
Fight. Johnny Cage wins. Round 2, fight. Wins.
Don't blame the controls for my bad gameplay. Oh man.
Finish him.
And a fatality.
Fatality.
Try one more time.
Excellent.
Let's try some
Reptile.
reptile.
Round 1, fight.
Get over here!
That's not a good way to start. Oh man, I am.
Round 2, fight.
Boy, I'm glad no one's going to see this, huh? I'll have to edit all this out.
Finish him. Fatality.
That's going to leave a mark. All right. I don't want to torture you guys too much, so let's take a look at the Ultimate Mortal Kombat and see how bad I do in that one.
Scorpion. Choose your destiny.
Definitely novice.
Round 1, fight. Superb. Well done. Scorpion wins. Round 2, fight. Scorpion wins. Round 1, fight!
Smoke that, baby!
Round 2, fight! Scorpion wins. Round 1, fight! Well done.
Oh, you're like 10 miles away!
Round 2, fight!
Man, Kano's killing my butt today! One more time!
Round 1, fight! Okay, wins. Round 2, fight! Well done. Okay, wins. Round 1, fight! Well done.
Ah!
Wins.
Ooh, he schooled me.
Round 2, fight!
We're making some final thoughts of the Mortal Kombat from Arcade1UP. Ooh, it's kicking my butt.
Flawless
So
victory.
what's my final thoughts of the Arcade1UP Mortal Kombat? It's a very fun game. I do remember it quite a bit when I played it on the Super Nintendo. But for me, it's just a little frustrating because I don't remember all the moves. I got to go look them up, and I'll have a little more fun with it. But the machine itself definitely is improved over the Phase 1 units. The joystick definitely felt better. It was more responsive. The buttons were great. Again, they're similar to the ones I'm going to be offering soon. It's a soft micro switch that responds a little bit better. The inclusion of the overlay protector here is also a huge bonus. You don't have to wait before you start playing the machine or worry about ruining any artwork on it. The assembly was the same just as every other Arcade1UP. It took me probably about 20 minutes total, and that was taking my time. I've built so many now. It's pretty easy to do. It's definitely fun. If you like fighting games, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat should be right up your alley. I know that it might be a bad thing to say, usually Street Fighter people or Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, it's Mortal Kombat. But it's definitely a nice machine. It looks great in a collection in your game room or at home. If you have 2 people, it's even more fun. The AI was pretty good, as you can see. It was wiping the floor with me, but other people might be a little bit better, and having an opponent that you can play with is great. Now, with that also being said, I know that they're now taking pre-orders for their new Marvel Arcade1UP machine. Now that machine, I think the initial run is 8,000, and that's their special edition version. The 8,000 will give you a light-up marquee, real Sanwa joysticks and buttons, and I think it also comes with the riser already. But you better hurry. I think the 8,000 is going pretty quick. After the initial 8,000, they'll be offering the standard Arcade1UP version of the Marvel machine, which will basically be, I do believe, without the light-up marquee and the regular controls that they have in there. So definitely, if you want to get one, you better reserve one now. And again, I want to thank you all for watching. I'm going to do a little more practicing here on some Mortal Kombat. Maybe I'll do another video when it doesn't wipe the floor with me like it did this time. But I do thank you all for spending some time with me today on this episode. And if you did like the video, please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, and remember everyone, no matter if you play good or bad like this guy, game on.
Glen at the Tiny Arcade fan page. Remember, don't admire people too much. They'll disappoint you.
Sit, Blue Blue, sit. Good dog.
Get over here!